Try to remember your second birthday. Not a photo. Not a story your parents told you later. An actual memory. Something you saw. Something you felt. Nothing, right? Here's the strange part. Your brain was there. Your eyes were open. The sounds were real. You learned to walk. You learned to talk. You recognized every face around you. You just don't remember any of it. And most people explain it the same way. The brain was too young. That explanation is wrong. And the real answer is much darker than you'd expect. In the 1980s, a researcher named Carolyn Rovey Collier tried something simple. She tied a ribbon to a baby's ankle. The other end connected to a mobile hanging above them. No instructions. No teaching. Just a baby and a spinning toy. Within minutes, the baby figured it out. Kick the leg. The mobile moves. They loved it. When she brought those same babies back days later, the memory was still there. The moment the ribbon touched their ankle, they started kicking again. Immediately. Like they never left. 2-month-old babies held that memory for days. 6-month-olds held it for weeks. So let's be clear about what this means. Baby brains could hold memories. Real ones. Strong ones. They weren't too young. They weren't too weak. And yet, every single one of those memories is gone by adulthood. Not faded. Not blurry. Gone. Like someone pressed delete. Here's where it gets interesting. Your brain has a part called the hippocampus. Think of it like a filing system. It takes what you experience and turns it into a memory you can replay later. In adults, it works well. In babies, it's still being built. So yes, baby brains struggle to save long-term memories. But that's only half the story. Because in 2014, 2 scientists in Toronto asked a question nobody had considered before. What if the thing building the baby brain is also the thing destroying its memories? Here's what they found. In the first years of life, the brain creates brand new brain cells at a rate it will never match again. These new cells are essential. They build the circuits a person uses for the rest of their life. But every new brain cell that gets added doesn't just slot in quietly. It disrupts the connections already there. And those connections? That's where the memories were being stored. They tested this on mice. When they sped up this process in adult mice with perfectly working memories, those mice started forgetting things they already knew. Clear memories just dissolved. When they slowed it down in baby mice, those babies held on to memories far longer than any baby mouse normally would. The baby brain wasn't too weak to hold memories. It was too busy building itself to keep them. Your brain was constructing new rooms and had to knock down the walls holding your past to do it. If this is making you think, subscribe and turn on notifications. This channel is for exactly these moments. The ones that make you stop and realize there's far more happening inside you than you ever knew. But even after the brain's filing system matures, even after the construction slows, memories still don't reach back before roughly age 3. Something else was missing. Something nobody expected. You. Before about 18 months old, babies don't know they exist as a separate person. They don't have a sense of self yet. The test for this is almost too simple. Put a small dot on a baby's nose. Hold a mirror in front of them. Before 18 months, the baby reaches toward the mirror, toward the other child they think is standing there. After 18 months, the baby touches their own nose. That moment, when a child first recognizes themselves, lines up almost exactly with when lasting memories begin to form. You can remember being you, because you hadn't arrived yet. And then there's one final piece: language. A psychologist named Catherine Nelson spent decades studying how children form lasting memories. And she found something surprising. Language doesn't just help you talk about memories. It helps you build them. Before you had words, experiences were just raw feeling, warmth, sound, light. But without words to organize them, those feelings had nothing to attach to. They existed for a moment, and then they were gone. And the proof of this is striking. A researcher named Chi Wang compared earliest memories across different cultures. In certain East Asian cultures, where early childhood is less about individual stories and more about the group, earliest memories begin at age 4 or later. In Western cultures, where parents regularly talk through their children's experiences, remember when we went to the park? Remember what you said? Earliest memories reach back to around age 3.5. But among the Maori people of New Zealand, whose culture places extraordinary value on personal stories and history, earliest memories reach back to age 2.5, the earliest of any culture ever studied. The culture you were born into shaped where your memory begins. The people who talk to you, and how they talk to you, help determine where your silence starts. For the first years of your life, your brain wasn't sleeping. It was doing something far harder than remembering. It was building you, laying down circuits that would last a lifetime, wiring up everything you'd ever think, feel, or understand, constructing the brain you're using right now. And to do all of that, it had to use up everything it experienced. Every morning, every face, every sound, every first. All of it became raw material, used up, rewired into something new. By the time your brain was ready to hold memories the way you do now, the baby version of you was already gone, rebuilt piece by piece into someone new. So what if those missing years aren't really missing? What if they are the reason you exist at all? Your brain didn't fail to record those years. It consumed them. Every face, every sound, every morning of light, used as building material, turned into the circuits you think with, the emotions you feel, the person you became. The child who lived those years isn't lost. They became you. And the silence where the memories should be? That's not absence, that's evidence. Evidence of the most extraordinary thing that has ever happened. The quiet, unstoppable construction of you. You didn't forget your beginning. Your beginning built you, and had to disappear to do it. If that landed, subscribe. Share it with someone who's been carrying that silence without knowing why. And tell me in the comments, what's the earliest memory you actually hold? Not a story someone told you. Something you were there for. I want to know how far back you reach.